Season 2 of Severance has finally dropped. Like, the first episode of Season 2 has come out, like, today, after, like, 2 years of waiting for it.
Finally.
And we wouldn't be doing it justice if we didn't just go over the masterpiece, the absolute masterpiece that Severance is. I mean, I should especially do it at this point, just in case Season 2 ruins it, which I haven't actually thought of.
Nah.
They can't ruin it, can they?
They can't.
They can't.
Yeah, high hopes.
It's too good.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's not one of these shows where they've got the beginning really well nailed down and then it just goes off on one completely because they haven't thought about where it's going to go. Anyway, what this is about here, this is us just revering season 1 of Severance and just going over how magnificent it is. And yes, spoiler alert, we will be spoiling season 1, like, all over the place. So if you haven't seen it, first question is, are you mad? Go and watch it. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because this is going to be full of spoilers, and trust me, it's worth watching. I would rather drive you away from this video so you go and watch all of Severance and then come back than ruin it for you. That's how good Severance is. I don't even like telling people what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, the idea, the concept.
We just tell them to watch it, don't we?
Yeah, because, like, that it is so good to go into it not knowing a single thing.
I feel like it's not really, it's not been that popular in the UK.
I think...
I've not heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah. I only found out about it through TikTok.
Okay.
Because I'd get them TikToks that come up and say, like, good TV series, good films to watch. And I'm like, okay. And then sometimes it shows you a bit too much of it. But this one with Severance, it hadn't shown me any of it, but it came up on a few lists. And this was like back then, back when Severance had come out, people have already watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got no spoilers, but I got them coming up where it's like, this is amazing, you need to watch it. And then eventually it got to me, I was like, okay, then this is it, I've got to at least start it. And once I started it, I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Everyone who we have recommended it to have enjoyed it, haven't they?
Yeah.
It is really good.
And it's crazy because, like, the very few people who I meet, in fact, I think I've actually, in all this time since watching Severance, I've only actually met one person who's seen it. And that was just recently when I went down for that training. Yeah. I was in the class, we were talking about, like, what you're watching and stuff. And somebody mentioned, like, what's your favourite series or what's your favourite, like, film or show or whatever. And then I went, have you seen Severance? And then this one woman went, oh my god, yes, like that. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is, like, that is the reaction I'm talking about. And then a couple of my teammates were in front of me just over here. And I was like, see, this is what I mean. Like, they don't get it.
They don't get it unless they've seen it.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand. It is really well made.
And
it's your favourite TV show
ever.
Isn't it?
It's the best thing I've seen in at least like 10-15 years by a mile.
It is very creative. And the way they built it up all the way to the last episode.
Oh my god.
The cliffhangers, and it's just really well made, really well thought of.
So that is the best cliffhanger ever.
All the way through.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Absolutely. It's perfect. It's actually perfect. Now, obviously, I want to go in and break this stuff down, but we're on the topic right now, and I'm just going to talk about reasons why it's perfect. Okay. One, for me, is its efficiency. Like, there's no wasted dialogue.
Yeah.
I feel like there is not a single bit of wasted dialogue in this show.
Yeah.
Not a single bit. It is all so efficient.
Yeah.
And that is genius. That takes genius to do.
Yeah. There's no rambling.
No.
There's no, I know what you mean, unnecessary, useless dialogue.
Arguably, the storyline with Irving and Bert, that love story, arguably, okay, is there something there that could have been cut out, etc.? But no, forget it. That's the character. That's the character's story.
Yeah.
So that's staying right where it is. And I feel like that helped the tone of it. Something about that helped the tone of that show.
Yeah. It's quite minimal.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Minimal characters as well. It's so efficient with the characters. All you have are like the main characters who are just like, everyone's important, you know? If they are filler, it's very clear to you that this is filler. It is so efficient. So, like, the characters are so powerful. Like that security man who got killed. Yeah. His presence, the casting is bullseye. He comes in, and whenever you see him, he's this like proper imposing, intimidating character.
Yeah.
And he uses that on the staff as well.
Yeah.
So, characters, efficiency, it's totally efficient. There's no excess.
Yeah.
Right? Writing, speech, yeah, dialogue, magnificently efficient.
I thought it was good cast.
Amazing cast. Performances
cast.
are some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, I agree.
They do it so well.
Who's your favourite character?
I think I'm just gonna have to say Mark. I think I'm just gonna have to say Mark. I mean, there is something about Milchick to me that's a bit. I want to know what's going on with Milchick. What's his story?
Yeah.
Then there's Natalie, who's interesting as well. Natalie was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see much of her.
Yeah, no.
That assistant girl.
Yeah, but like, what is her story? There's something interesting there. And then, of course, there's...
I like Miss Cobell.
Yeah, you like Miss Cobell, yeah.
Or Miss Selvig.
Yeah, depends on it.
Yeah.
If you are seeing her when you're severed or not.
She was great. I liked her.
Yeah.
I also liked Helly.
Yeah. Helly's interesting.
Yeah, Helly was good and funny to watch.
Yeah.
Her trying to escape.
They're all really good. What was that guy's name? Daryl? Dwayne? What's his name?
Daryl.
I think it's Daryl. We'll find out.
I think it's Daryl.
Yeah, just try and grab that name if you can for us. It should be in the cast or something. But yeah, the writing, like, if we...
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan's cool. I like his character too.
Yeah, that scene, I don't understand that scene though. You know,
Go on.
Waffle
party.
The waffle party. What's that all about?
I think that we're not supposed to understand that. I think that's just one of the quirks of the show.
Okay.
Do you know, like, we don't understand what job they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like, there are things that we don't understand about it, things that we don't know, and that's one of them. One of the weird, like, quirks of the show that, like, just exist.
Some people say, the black goo.
Yeah.
In some of the scenes, some people think it like represents subconscious thoughts, trauma that the subject can't handle. That's like the subconscious creeping in.
Oh, interesting. Like, it's almost like the outie.
Yeah.
Creeping into the innie.
Yeah, that's it. That's
wow, that merging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of that merging, right? There was a scene where Mark is crying against a tree. He like drives over to this tree one night, like randomly, and he goes over to it and he's just like crying his eyes out, bawling his eyes out. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is explicitly mentioned in the show, but I feel like his wife was killed in a car crash, and I think that was the tree where it happened. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like it wasn't actually mentioned in the show. It's like we just put that together ourselves. Is that right? Because I don't feel like it was mentioned. I know that she passed away, but not that how she passed away.
Yeah,
Did they say car crash? Oh,
yeah.
right, okay.
It was car crash, yeah.
Okay.
So it turns out Miss Casey is Gemma, Mark's wife, who allegedly died in a car crash.
Yeah.
Some years ago.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, if they faked the car crash, but obviously she's not dead because she's at Lumen, wouldn't, like, the outies, as in Mark and Gemma's outies, like, because they were married, so they would have family, right?
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, she would still see the family, no? And the family would know.
No, but what if she hasn't got an outie though, innit? that's the case. The case is she's not got an outie. So his wife, the
okay.
therapist lady, Miss Casey,
Yeah.
she hasn't got an outie.
Oh.
Yeah, she's always in.
How did you know that?
Oh my God, I'm about to blow your mind to smithereens. So firstly, one thing that Miss Casey says is, my life has consisted of half an hours at a time. Right?
Yeah.
So she's literally activated.
That I just took that as in she's at work for half an hour each time, and that's it. That's all she's needed in there.
I get you.
And then she gets out.
I get you. And then she's
So
her
where does
outie and she's
where-
gone.
Yeah, where does she go then?
Right? So this is the magic, yeah? There was one point where she was made to go back. I think it was when she was getting fired or quitting or something.
Yeah, she was leaving.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was basically one point where she was made to go back to her like place. And do you know where she goes?
No.
It's just eerie in a way. She goes to the testing floor. So they experiment on her. Yes. And when she goes there, do you know how she gets there? Elevator. Down. So they're already down because they're in the basement.
Yeah.
And she goes further down. That is just like dark. How dark is that?
I missed that. I must have missed that.
Yeah, and basically it was like at one point she'd said, when I spent the day with you guys in your office, that was the longest I'd been alive in one go. Yeah, so in other words, just that one day was already the bulk of her life.
Yeah.
That was already the majority of her life. And she goes, you could call it my good old days. And that was just like an episode or two ago. And that was like her majority of her life. It's just crazy, that, isn't it? So that's where like a lot of her memories were from there and from that day.
I see.
Crazy. But what I was about to say, because we're talking about merging and stuff, yeah. He goes and he cries against this tree. And that's the outie, right? The outie mark. And then the next day or something, Miss Selvig, well, what's her name? Miss Cobell, she asks for him to have like another therapy session, and she calls it one last one. And that's basically because like his wife, don't know what's going to happen to her, but she's getting fired or something, yeah? So he has his one last one session, and they're there and they're having this conversation and all this, and then she says to him, sometimes people like to go ahead and use this like clay, like Play-Doh, to express their feelings. So here you go, you use this Play-Doh and express to me through that Play-Doh how you feel right now. And he makes the tree. I was like, how is the innie making the tree which the outie was just crying next to?
Deep.
Proper.
Oh.
It was mad because, like, do you remember his mate, that other colleague?
Yeah.
What was his name? I've got his name.
I know him, yeah, I can't remember.
Penny?
No.
Timmy? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
His mate who got fired at the start, so his colleague, who was the manager of their department, MDR, Macro Data Refinement. So his friend, right, when he was speaking to Mark on the outside, and Mark explained, like, yeah, look, the reason why I'm severed is because my wife's passed away. I'm madly depressed and stuff, and it's hurting me every day. And that is like, you know, cuts it out of my life in a way. And then his friend's like, just so you know, you're sad down there too. It's in there and it's deep. So even though you're down there, it's still there. It's still in you. Crazy. The details are mental. You know, how well they've researched this, like how much depth they've given to everything.
Yeah.
Just blows my mind. I proper love that. And like that was why when I paused it the other day and I paused that scene, that was what I was looking at, because that shows the levels that they've actually gone and looked at this. So basically, guys, one thing that I paused it on the other day, now you guys should go back and do this too. So it's season 2, and it's not the final episode, it's the one before it, I'm pretty sure.
Season 1.
Yes, did I say season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Season 1, not the final episode, the one before it, I think. Basically, it's the one where Dylan is about to flick the switch for the overtime contingency thing, right? So he's there, he's about to flick the switch, he's looking through the system, and as he looks through the system, he finds these other types of access. So one of them is overtime, where they can, switch you back into your innie self, even though you're in your normal life, right? So that's one of them. The other ones, there was one called Elephant, and I was like, I wonder what that means. I feel like with that one, you just remember everything. Because obviously elephants, never forget. I think it's that, innit? And this is all about memories.
Yeah.
Your memories are geographically separated. So one's Elephant, one was called Glasgow.
Yeah.
One was called Lullaby. One was called something like Free Access or something. It's just like the things they've thought of to make this show. I feel like in season 2, we're going to find out what them other accesses are.
Maybe.
I think so.
So what do you think is going to happen in season 2?
Well, I don't really know. It could go anywhere, but I think that it's going to go wrong, basically.
So when it ended, Helly was at that gala where not only does she find out she's an Egan, but she's also the face of the
Severing
company.
and Severance.
Yeah.
Face of Lumen, basically.
So what do you think she's going to say in the speech? And what do you think the reaction is going to be? Is there going to have any consequence? What do you think is going to happen with Helly?
Okay, so for me, Helly, right, the outie Helly is the innie Helly's worst enemy. Biggest enemy, worst enemy, you name it. So they've got that conflict, that war going on constantly already. So she straight away is going to cut off the innie and be like, I was joking. I had you, didn't I? That was convincing, wasn't it? I had you. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only having a laugh, like that. It's going to be something along them lines, or it's like, I don't feel too well. Something like that type of thing, just to get out of it. That's what I think. Before I come on to what you think, isn't it mad, her life? Because when she was a kid, that's when her dad or granddad or whoever that old guy was had made the first Severance chip when she was little. And then she was like, can everyone get one of these? And that's kind of some of the impetus as to why this became the way it became. So she was one of the driving factors.
Yeah.
So she's had that all the way through her age, all the way until now, where she's still the face of it and got herself severed.
Mad.
And then there was that discussion we were having last night where it was like, why would they have got her to do it? They shouldn't have got her to do it. Yeah, because clearly the staff who have severed people know that the severed people are a bit down and a bit wanting to escape. They feel like prisoners.
Yeah.
But here's how I see it. That is the truth about the workers, right? The workers, the severed people, are very sad. They're very down, and they want to escape, right? So that's the workers. Then you've got the management, right? And the management are not going to make Severance look like a bad thing.
Yeah.
So they're going to be lying to the higher management, to the owners. So as it goes up, the truth about what is actually happening into severed people is disappearing as it goes up the chain. Because you're getting more and more yes men as you go up the line. Until it gets to the actual top level and they're all fine. Yeah, Severance is amazing. It's going really well. Everyone's happy. It's win-win for society and the people inside. Do you know what I mean? Like that. What do you think's going to happen then with her at that massive gala?
I think they'll try locking her up, punish her, probably make her say sorries a million times again.
That's
In
mad,
that
isn't it?
torture room.
Oh, so you're talking about what's going to happen to the innie.
Yeah.
What's the outie going to do at the gala? Because she's going to get switched while she's at that podium.
I think she'll just get taken away off the stage and
Yeah.
off you go.
Interesting. But yeah, of course, the innie's going to get proper tortured.
Yeah.
The innie.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that whole apology place? You've got to say it until you mean it. I loved that bit when she was threatening to like chop her own arm off type thing. And then she goes, I didn't mean any of the apologies like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wicked.
Yeah, I like her. She's funny.
That was so good.
She's funny.
Go on. What do you think's going to happen in the second season?
Well, they can't just make it easy, in the first few episodes and let them just escape and find things out. They're going to make it difficult for them. I think they will get back in, and then I think it's a case of like gathering evidence and, do you know what I mean, like working together, and it's going to be one of those ones.
Yeah.
Where, I think there'll be a season 3.
Oh, wow.
I think it'll be another cliffhanger job.
Yeah.
By the 10th episode. I think there's 10 episodes in this season. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I heard a little bit, I think it was a bit of a teaser. I might have watched like a few seconds.
Yeah.
And I heard Mark say, it got out.
What are you giving me spoilers for?
You heard that too.
If you've heard any more, please don't tell me. Thank you very much.
That's all I heard.
I bet there's
So
more
I think
you've heard.
you're asking me what I think happened. So I think it got leaked. So Lumen News leaked out. So people have found out that, the innies and the outies are doing things and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Trying to escape. It's like prison inside, and, there'll be some protesting going on and that kind of stuff.
Do you know? Okay. Great. No, I get you. Go on.
Well, so Mark knows that his wife is alive, so there'll be a lot of, wife investigating going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, wonder what happens. But I love Miss Cobell's character.
She's a
She's a
psychopath.
badass. She's a meanie, but she's cool.
She is a
She's
great
cool,
character.
though.
Yeah, she is.
She's cool. It's cool to watch her.
Yeah. There is. I just want to mention Mark's introduction. When we first see Mark, he's crying in his car, and then he walks into work. What an intro! What a character! Just honestly, they've ticked every box.
Because he's depressed from his wife, isn't he?
He's
situation.
mad depressed, big time. Yeah, he's not getting past it. He's not getting over it. He's been working here for a while now, and he's crying as he. And then that's what his best friend said. PT was like, sometimes when you come down, you've got red eyes. So when you start shift, you've got red eyes, and so they were saying that we were saying that you must be allergic to the elevator or something.
Do you want to talk about that last episode where he calls Miss Selvig?
Of course, we're going to talk about that. We'll just do some of that right now. Yeah. Firstly, I just want to say how basically. I just find it amazing how the writers chose and thought about when we flick that switch and they go back to normal life. I don't know if did they think this? What is the maddest situation that they could all be in when they get switched? Part of me thinks that's what the writers were thinking, because for him to go from his work self switched, and he's hugging his manager. I mean, mid-hug is just mental to be switched at in any situation. But for that hug to be him and his manager is just like the biggest mind blown like could possibly imagine. And then even the switch back for him is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because that switch back is at the moment when he's shouting the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know, she's alive, and he's talking about his wife who
Yeah.
he's like been going out of his mind over, which is of course the best cinematic moment I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Ever. So I feel like they've proper
Nailed
mastered
it.
those those moments are perfect.
Yeah.
And then it's the same with Helly. Really, Helly's switch back moment is the crazy one because that's on the podium.
Yeah.
But even her switch in is crazy because it's like at the gala, just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I'm at the gala and it's me. Everything's happening here because of me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other guy, Irving, and he's in the middle of one of his paintings where he's actually painting
Yeah.
Lumen, but everything black, 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 black.
Yeah. I didn't understand his life that much out of the three that was out.
Yeah, there's massive
all
question marks.
I saw was that so basically he discovers that he is investigating Lumen, his outie, and he's been doing some like dark paintings.
Yeah,
of-
lots.
of like, I'm guessing Lumen hallways
Yeah.
and corridors,
Yeah.
and it's black
Yeah.
and dark and creepy.
Yeah.
That's all we know, isn't it? And
Yeah.
he drove a car, like you said.
Drove
Don't
to
know how
find
he knows
Bert.
drive, but yeah, he went to drive and see Bert, and Bert's with someone else.
Yeah.
So he looks heartbroken,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying, wouldn't it be mad if your innie was like straight, not other way around. If your outie was straight, but your innie wasn't, like that'd just be crazy, wouldn't it? Like, can you just imagine? They could have done things like that. They could have, you know.
That'd be really complicated.
It still could be the case. That we don't even know. We don't know one of them.
That probably could.
You know, it's
happen.
just be so crazy. Like, possible, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that moment. Okay. So that other amazing moment, right? So he's hugged her. He's hugged Selvig Cobell at the party, and she's clocked on straight away. She is always switched on. She is always investigating him. She is always at work. Really.
Yeah.
Right? So she's investigating him. If she isn't investigating him, she's, I don't know. She's literally always investigating him, or she's managing him. Why do I feel like she's his mum or something? But she won't be because the sister would know.
Yeah.
But anyway, the hug happens. She clocks on. She spots something weird. They go through the party. Party's happening. She's keeping an eye on him, asking him questions where she can, as standard, always probing the guy. And then she's like, that thing you were telling me about, why didn't you tell me about that later on? And he goes, yeah, okay, well, I've got to go and see my sister though. I'll be back in a minute. See you in a minute. Thanks, Miss Cobell. Just boom, isn't it? That's one of them proper audience moments where the audience is just like,
Yeah, we were.
craziest.
Loved it. That was great. That was great writing.
That was amazing, right? I'm so glad that he got to sit down with the sister though. That was
Yeah.
good, innit?
Yeah.
It would have been really frustrating if he never got that conversation in with the sister.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And that was actually really nice. There was something like sweet about her meeting the innie, who is like almost the more innocent version of Mark, if that's possible.
That bit was funny when he thought she was his wife.
Yeah.
And it was their
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. So how's our baby?
Yeah.
And she's like, huh? All right. That was well good. Again, all genius writing.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I think about Severance in that first season, how I see it, it's the whole season is basically It's, of course, it's massively entertaining as it is, but really it's giving you the concepts, giving you the rules, giving you all of the bits of detail you need to understand for that final episode. So when you watch that final episode, you can really see every intricacy in there.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's doing. That whole season is building up, showing you all the details, giving you all the rules. This is what's happening. This is how the memories work. So when you watch that final episode, it's just perfection,
Yeah.
you know?
Because we watched it like 3 years ago.
Yep, 3 years ago.
Um,
And we waited ever since.
or maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, maybe 2 years ago. Probably 2 years ago, right?
We rewatched, didn't we, the season?
Yeah, we've rewatched the season, like,
And
literally just this week.
you actually find out a bit more.
Yeah,
like,
when you watch it
watching
back again,
Yeah, when you watch it a second time,
rewatch it.
you'll see the details a bit more. Because I didn't really take it in the first time round, but when you've watched it all and then you go back and watch it, it's like, oh, I missed that.
Go on, give me some.
I can't remember now, but just the details, you know, like literally the first scene, like the heli thing, and then like you just learn a bit more.
I'll give you a couple, right? First one I'll give you, which I didn't clock on the first time round, but you might have, all right? Miss Selvig is speaking to Mark's sister about breastfeeding because she comes in as like the breastfeeding expert. And they're talking, and then, of course, obsessed Miss Selvig gets involved and starts going, so Mark, he works at Lumen and he got himself severed. Why would he ever do that? All this lot. Then they start talking about the wife who's passed away. Selvig comes back and says, oh, when my father passed away, I was distraught, blah, 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 blah. I sometimes would feel like I'm seeing him around, like I'm talking to him and stuff. Does Mark ever feel like he sees her around? And there she's basically asking her, this is before the wife reveal.
Yeah.
So we don't know that she's doing this.
Yeah.
Or what she's talking about. But what she's talking about there is, of course, does Mark know that he's speaking to his wife at work, or on some subconscious level, is there a bleed through of this kind of experience where he's coming back saying, I feel like I just spoke to my wife. I feel like I just spent time with my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just testing her.
What a detail, you know, just to put in there. But another amazing detail, which obviously I caught on the second time round of watching it, the scene at the very start when Helly is like just freshly severed, and it turns out the first thing they do once they're severed is they ask you a bunch of questions to make sure you've now forgotten everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That like the severance chip is working. And so the questions they asked was like, name a random state, something like, what's your name or something, where do you live, some random stuff. And then one of the questions was, what's Mr. Egan's favourite breakfast? And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. That makes sense. The reason why they've asked her specifically, what is Mr. Egan's favourite breakfast? They've asked her that specifically because her character would know the answer to that. It may even have been a case where the outie, Helly, had said, ask me these questions because I definitely know these. So if I can't answer these, you know I've forgotten everything. Just amazing. And so we should have clocked on. I mean, we wouldn't have because we haven't seen the whole season, so we don't know who she is and what her identity is.
Yeah.
But when you watch it back again, you realise, oh my God, they asked her that question because she is an Egan. Just magnificent. And of course, in that moment, it's Mark's first day on the job. In it, because Petey's gone. So that's why he's a crappy. He does the job like bad, and he's all like bumbling around and stuff. What I thought was amazing and very telling was when Helly threw the book at him and it hit him on the head. And he got like a little cut on his head type thing or something. And then the company lied to him. I was like, yeah, innit?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, they lied. Just the way that detail, that way that they just tell you something's wrong here. You know what I mean? That again, genius writing. Genius writing. In the first episode, they're telling you something's wrong with this place. It's not all that it seems. So they lied to him and said that, oh, you got hurt moving some boxes, when really she threw the bucket in his face and it hit him. Just wild. And then that was genius, wasn't it? How she tries to leave. Her leaving and how she just like comes straight back in. Couldn't leave.
So is his friend dead?
PT?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know for a fact if he's dead. No, I don't think it was... No, he is dead. Because they went to his funeral and Selvig got his chip out.
Oh, yeah.
Selvig got his chip out. Basically, she got his chip out because it's an unsevered one. So they're going to take it for, like, research. Cray or what?
Yeah, he is dead.
Yeah, it's quite sad, isn't it? Because he was a great character.
Yeah.
And they were mates. And I love that scene when it showed them two at work together and how it would just cut in and out.
Yeah, I like that.
Really well put together. And go on.
Go on.
We mustn't forget the way Helly tries to, S herself. Tries to do herself in. Of course, it's not herself, but it's the other version of herself. But that was crazy, wasn't it? She was like, I'm going to do it in the lift. So it won't be me. It'll be the other one that gets it. And that was just so mad when the other one is like going through it and she presses the lift again to go back up. So like, no, it's going to be you, not me.
Yeah.
That was mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got to think about this as well. There is a bit of a storyline about that mother who was having a baby, and that the sister thinks that she might have been severed. So as if she was severed to give birth, and then after that she's back to normal again. I think that what they're implying there is that there are people who exist who, when they're going to go through anything ugly, they can just switch on the severed thing, so it's not them who goes through the ugly thing, whatever that might be.
Interesting.
Very interesting. A whole different side to it, all if you think about it. Yeah.
Let's get watching episode 1 of season 2 then.
Yeah, I think you're tapped out. I think we'll go ahead and we'll try and get through this episode.
Yeah.
But
Only
yeah.
waited 2 years.
Yeah, we have waited 2 years. But yeah, I just thought that we should do this because as soon as we see this first episode, then that's our first season experience over done with. And I felt like it was worth going through and having a recap of course, the most poignant parts. And just one thing as well, that whole story about like one department massacring another department, that stuff was mad, And they've got this whole it's almost like a religion. But yes, I'm pretty sure that's basically everything that I want to cover. One thing to note in mind as well is the lady, the black market lady. Do you know what I mean? The one who met Mark in like some underground basement and then she killed a security man. We need to know what happens with her. That's going to be interesting. Someone's going to come back out of that. What I think I'm going to do, guys, is I reckon I will try and make a video after each episode. That's the plan.
Okay.
So keep an eye on me and on this show and on this podcast and channel and hit subscribe and like and share. But after each episode of Severance Season 2, we're going to have a discussion.
It's so annoying that they're just releasing 1 episode a week.
I like it.
For 10 weeks.
I like it. 10 weeks, yeah? I like it. Wait a minute. Is that a spoiler? 10 episodes?
Yeah. I already said 10 episodes earlier.
Fair enough. Oh. Maybe I'll cut that part out. I don't know. But anyway, I think that was good. That was covered. We will catch you guys in the next one. And thanks for watching. I'm pretty sure that's everything I want to cover. Although I could talk about Severance forever. In fact, this is my second video about it. I have made one a very long time ago about Severance because it's that good. And yeah, I could discuss it forever and ever and ever. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one and see you later. Take it easy.